Alright, so next we're going to start fleshing out the little bounce at the bottom, so the landing. So I can see we've got the low point on the hips here of the landing already, and we have the contacts of when the fist hits. So I think it would be nice to get the contact of when the feet actually hit. So let's see where that is. So looking at the reference, it's actually the frame after our stretch pose is where the feet land, but I think I should go to the following frame where the feet are fully flat, and then we can see that the hips are just starting to slow on their descent. So you can see here that the legs, the angle of the thigh starts to flatten, the legs, the lower part of the leg starts to lean forward, and you just get the sensation, the feeling that the muscles are kicking in and starting to take the weight of the fall. So there's a very fast deacceleration in those hips there from our stretch pose to our squashed pose. And that's the feeling that you want to go for, the feeling that the legs are taking the weight of the full body during that contraction, during that fall. So I'm going to select all the controls as usual, drag select those keys, switch to linear, and hit S to key everything, switch back to stepped. Okay, so let's go and grab those feet and start placing those. So we've got the flat pose already, so I think we're going to do the old copy paste. So if we go from frame 69, then just middle mouse click and key it, copy that over. Looks like we've still got some attributes on the feet that we need to get rid of too. So just select that foot. Yeah, we've got inner Z still there. Oh, flip to the rig again. Oh, it's fixed itself, cool. So just looking at the reference, there is a little bounce in the foot there, which would be nice to include. I think that's going to really help the feeling of impact and weight and solidity. I think having those little impact moments that you can glean from the reference will really bring a lot to the landing. So just grab the right foot as well, as that's still got the heel pointing up, so we'll get rid of the toe roll, zero the attribute. Oh, the leg collapses. I'm going to assume that's going to fix itself in a second. It does, cool. There we go, so that just hits the ground and then bounces back up again. Alright, let's grab that body control, see how the hips are doing. So I'm just going to look at the Y, the up and down, see how low those hips are crunching down. Let's have a look into the graph to make this a bit easy for ourselves. So look at the Y translation. I can see here, this is our current frame. I think we're actually a bit lower than that in the reference. You can see our lowest point on the right, and I want to bring it down pretty close to that, I think, just so we get a crunchier landing, a harder landing, a faster hit. So if it drops down harder and then cushions over a shorter distance, it's going to feel quite solid. So I can use the graph to see the relationship of those keys and the position in Y. And remember that nice knee twist that we liked, so I'm going to grab the pull vector and just pull that knee over so that it pops out to the right. And then also, so I land at the moment with both feet at the same time, but then I'm transitioning a bit to shifting my weight slightly to the right so this hand can come down. So I might just start that twisting of the hips a little bit earlier than we've got currently on the frame. So I'm just going to push this hip back a little bit. Alright, now we can move on to the top half of the body, so I'll start with his right hand, screen left hand, and it's starting its journey down to the ground now, so we want to start getting the punch in. Punch the ground. So I can see on the reference that does happen. I think we can exaggerate that and make it feel stronger, so I think if I pull the chest down as well, it gives a bit more range. Allow me to get a straighter arm, which is going to make it feel more powerful, because he really is punching the ground rather than what I was doing, which was, I didn't want to break my wrist. But we can go further with this, so I'm going to lean him over as well, get that hand, make sure the arm feels nice, straight and powerful. He's going to feel heavier, a bit more superhero, a bit more powerful, a bit more Iron Man, I guess. Not that he is in a metal suit, but I just like to give him a little bit of help and try and make him feel more powerful. I can also get some nicer posing on his left arm. My arm, it's a little bit loose, it's not really here or there, but I can give this one a nice angle on the elbow, feeling just more angular, check it from all angles like this so you can see its relationship to the body. I think that feels more superhero than I was able to achieve anyway. And now we'll step through the keys a few times, see how that's feeling. Oh, looking at that right arm, actually, I think I might have just made that a bit too straight. Feels like it's going to be softer impact just because the distance between the fist and the hand is quite small, so if I raise it so there's a greater distance for it to travel, that'll make it feel a bit harder. So I'll just pull back on that change slightly and then just check, a bit of tweak on it. Shoulder, let's make sure that that head is starting its journey to look up at the horizon a bit more sharply. Something I'm missing a little bit here is the fact that the chest drops from this frame to this frame, so I think we should add in some of that, because I think that's going to also help our balance. And now let's check it by stepping through a few times. Okay, cool, I think that's working pretty well. I think we are good to move on to the next breakdown. So set your keys, version up, save a scene, grab a coffee, and we'll move on to the next one.